I've been asked what kind of luggage I find most useful, and it's this, the SW-Motech Roadpack. But I thought instead of making a video on just this particular towel bag, I would offer you an alternative option as well. In the 5 years that I've been using this bag, I haven't yet found a bike that I've not been able to fit it to. Now obviously I go and collect press bikes quite frequently, and this bag has been absolutely fantastic. It's a decent enough size that I can get sat nav and some mounts and all that sort of stuff in there, or I can take action cameras, or if I just want to take emergency waterproofs, they will fit in here. But it's a small enough size that I'm pretty much guaranteed I can strap it to whatever bike I'm picking up, and that means I don't have to ride with a rucksack, which personally I'm not a big fan of. The Roadpack towel bag is expandable from 8 to 14 litres via the use of a zip on the bottom, and that makes it a really useful size. It's big enough to get plenty of the essentials in that you might need, plus a bit more, but also it's not so big that you could just strap it onto the bike just in case. There are two options to fit this. The most flexible one is to use the adjustable straps that come with it. The straps have looped ends for attaching to the bike with a clip system on each corner of the bag. The strap can then be tightened and the excess rolled away and secured by Velcro. The straps are long enough to reach down to places like pillion, foot peg or exhaust hangers, grab handles and the bike chassis, giving good flexibility. The alternative option to fix them is to use the Velcro straps that are stored in the base. There's a double set of these. Probably should have pulled those out before, but you don't really get the effect of how they can be tucked away. And these can obviously be looped underneath the seat, or if you've got a separate pillion seat, just looped underneath, Velcro together and secure the bag in place. Now of course this could be a really useful option for particular bikes, but there is a disadvantage to it in that the bag cannot be removed and refitted particularly quickly. You've got to go through that process of unlocking and taking the seat off to do the strap, but it's nice to have this there as a backup. The bag has got a semi-rigid construction. There's an EVA lid on the top with a molle system, so if you want to add accessories to that, you've got that ability, and the rest of the body is constructed from 1680D ballistic nylon. The bag isn't waterproof, but I must admit I've found that it does stand up to a shower or kind of persistent light rain. It's only when the rain gets heavier and if you're caught in a downpour, eventually the water will make its way through, but it tends to make its way through the zips because they're not waterproof zips. The lid is good and the outer is good at keeping the water out, but the zips are the part where it starts to foul. But it does come with a cover that you can slide over the top, which is completely waterproof, and obviously you can just store that in the bag when not in use. The inside of the bag is just one big space. It's not compartmentalized, but there are bungee straps on the inside here, so you can fix bits in that to stop them rolling around inside the bag. And I generally, the waterproof cover, that's what I do, roll it up and slide it in the side here, so it's pretty much out of the way. At the top you've got a zipped mesh pocket, which is handy for carrying small items in that you don't want to get lost in there. I generally put my phone and keys and wallet and stuff like that in there that you want easy access to, and you don't want necessarily getting damaged by anything that's in the bag itself. It is an absolutely cracking piece of kit, and as you can see, it's held up very well. This has had 5 years of use, so there's a lot of mileage gone through this. It's been involved in a couple of drops and crashes, and the only issue I've got with it, really, in terms of any damage or wear, is this SW-Motech logo that's stuck on the back that is coming off. And I think that's down to me kind of catching that with my heel when I'm getting on and off the bike. In reality, apart from a few scuffs and a bit of dirt on it and that aforementioned badge, it doesn't look that different to when I first took it out of the box, and I think that says a lot about the quality of the construction and the materials used. So the Roadpack, a useful size, expandable from 8 to 14 litres. It has a waterproof cover in it, and as I say, I've been able to strap this to pretty much, I can't even think of a bike that I've not been able to get this on some way or another. And it retails at $125.99, which I don't think is too bad considering how well this is constructed, and you can see just how well this has lived with miles and miles and years of use and abuse. At the beginning I showed you an alternative, and that alternative is to use one of the SW-Motech tank bags as a tail bag. This option is most relevant if you already use an SW-Motech rear rack, but I still think it's a good option. SW-Motech offer a Pro tank ring adapter for all of their racks. Obviously only the tank bags that have got a flat bottom are going to work for this, but it still gives you 6 options in the SW-Motech lineup. My choice was this, the Pro Sport tank bag. It's got a capacity of 12 litres, expandable to 17 litres, so it's a little bit bigger than the Roadpack, but it's still got a relatively low profile, and I think it looks really good fixed to the rack. The beauty of using the tank ring is that you have the same quick fitment and removal as the tank bag with a secure no move fitment, and you don't have to fiddle with any straps. Fitting is super easy with just 4 bolts needed to fix the adapter to the rack, then a few more to secure the ring. The Pro Sport has the same 1680D ballistic construction as the Roadpack, and as such comes with a waterproof cover. Set up in largely the same way too, with one large central storage pocket, a zipped section in the lid, but with the addition of 2 handy side pockets. Again, a really useful piece of kit, but this time with more storage capacity than the Roadpack, but in reality the overall size isn't that much different. And the beauty of this one is you've got double usage. You can use it as a tank bag and you can use it as a towel bag without having to change anything underneath here. You just snap it off of one, snap it onto the other. Another thing to note is, dependent on what tank bag you use as a towel bag, you can still leave all of your top box fixings in place. So I've got all of the Dusk ones on there, and with the day pack, for example, I can just snap that on and it works. It does depend though, because the Pro Sport model, because it's a little bit wider, having the 2 locating pins at the back for the dust case means I can't get that to snap into place, so I've got to unscrew those 2 if I want to use it. But that's just 2 bolts to unscrew to swap between the others. But a smaller footprint bag that fits in the bottom, you've got plenty of clearance, you can pop that off, pop your top box on and go from one to the other with no issues. The Pro Sport is more expensive and retails at £196.99, but obviously it offers more storage, and you've got the flexibility of using this as a tail bag or, for its intended purpose, as a tank bag. And as I mentioned earlier on, having that Pro tank ring on the rack means that you can use any of the other tank bags as long as they've got a flat bottom. So if you only just want the micro or the day bag, something small, if you've got one of those, it'll just snap on. I think it's a good solution. It's not going to work for everybody, but it's definitely something to think about. Oh, and not to forget, if you do want a fully waterproof option as a bag where you're not having to use a cover, then you've got the Yukon WP or Micro WP in the range that will work on the rack and offer you a fully waterproof out of the box solution. Hopefully you found this quick video useful, and I do have to admit that the Roadpack has been my most used, probably most practical and most loved piece of SW-Motech kit that I've ever had, and I would never be without one now. And a quick reminder, there is a link in the description which will take you away to the SW-Motech UK store, and with that link you will receive a 10% discount on your order, regardless of what it is from the SW-Motech range. So if you want to go for a tank bag or crash bars or luggage or side panel, whatever it is that you want to go for, that 10% discount will apply site-wide. So if you've got any questions, then let me know in the comment section down below, and all that leaves me to say is until next time, thanks for watching, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.